Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now May 28th of 2020, and ever since the release of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, a lot of fans around the world have been very intrigued about the future of the Star Wars franchise by Disney and Lucasfilm. This is Mike Zeroh. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the thing about Disney Star Wars is that we do know that they are now in a position where they really do have to regain many of the lost fans for those who are very much unsatisfied with the sequel trilogy movies. Mainly, of course, speaking about The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, right? Those were the two big films of the sequel trilogy that really caused a lot of problems within the community and created that big divide. Now, looking ahead to the future, we obviously know that Disney's very ambitious right now with Star Wars, given that Bob Chapek and Bob Iger only want the best for Star Wars. Whether that's, of course, out of generosity toward the fans, or obviously if it's going to be more leaning to the fact that it's damage control, in which it is. When we look at Disney has been doing, we can see a prime example of this in The Mandalorian Season 2. They're really doing something quite incredible with the second season of the series on Disney Plus by really bringing in many of the animated characters from the Clone Wars into live-action form, and they even plan to bring in some characters from Star Wars Rebels and other TV shows in live-action form, so that's another thing to look forward to. That's just one big step to really treating Star Wars better. Now, when we look at everything related to Episode 9, we do know that it had a very shaky, a very troubled production, if you will, throughout the months of shooting and on and off throughout 2018 into early 2019. Now, with that being said, of course, now that Disney and Lucasfilm are in a phase of damage control, they are both very much invested in their new Star Wars universe, as well as the new Star Wars trilogy of films. Now, it's explained that currently both Bob Iger and Bob Chapek are working hard together as a team in order to create a better and brighter future for the Star Wars community and the entire franchise as a whole. Now, it's noted that they have over 10 years worth of Star Wars projects for Disney Plus alone, and that this plan by Disney is to essentially regain many of the lost fans that were unsatisfied with the sequel trilogy movies. However, during and after the premiere for The Rise of Skywalker, many interviews were given to the creators and the actors of the sequel trilogy. At one point in time, actor Adam Driver was questioned about Kathleen Kennedy's leadership over at Lucasfilm and her impact on Star Wars as a whole. Adam Driver went on to state that originally they were actually going to be far different as an ending for The Rise of Skywalker, where he was actually set out to survive. However, Kennedy pushed the idea of killing off his character Ben Solo in order to end the Skywalkers forever. Adam Driver revealed that he went into weeks of training for some of the Ben Solo scenes, many of which were deleted that involved a major battle with Emperor Palpatine portrayed by Ian McDiarmid. Now, when Adam Driver was questioned about his character Ben Solo, Adam revealed that he was actually set to have more dialogue for the character in the film before Kennedy initiated reshoots for the movie, and that it was Kennedy who came up with the idea to call it The Rise of Skywalker. Originally, the title was more geared toward the real Skywalker characters like Luke or Anakin, before Kennedy decided to bring in a drastic change to the actual story. And now, of course, Kathleen Kennedy didn't actually want the film to be geared toward the Skywalkers. Adam Driver revealed that he actually wished there was more screen time for characters like Luke, Skywalker, and others, and that a lot of that had to do with Kennedy not wanting the actual Skywalkers to be a main part of the story, and plays a role into why Adam Driver actually got to play Ben Solo for a short period of time. Now, the story was actually set to be far darker, Adam revealed. The story had a more dark and gritty feel to it, even with the story involving the Resistance. This was before the two phases of reshoots that were in fact initiated by Kathleen Kennedy in order to create a far different film in comparison to what George Lucas, J.J. Abrams, and Chris Terrio wanted to do. Lastly, Adam Driver revealed that J.J. and Chris Terrio tried to use many of Colin Trevorrow's ideas from Episode 9, Duel of the Fates. However, Kathleen Kennedy refused to use any of his ideas, as she was completely against Colin's work and didn't want J.J. saving a part of it. So, the thing about the Colin Trevorrow, I guess you could say his work being saved by JJ, that big attempt by JJ and Chris, I think it would have been a fantastic idea. It's very unfortunate that JJ did not actually get the chance to use many of Colin's actual work from the movie. If you guys go ahead and check out the first draft of Duel of the Fates, in fact, a second draft is actually going to be, leaked out sometime, in the near future. Of course, we know that there were many drafts of that movie, and it was actually far different than what we got for The Rise of Skywalker. There's a lot of, I guess you could say, more original aspects to Colin's work. Now, I will agree that there were some elements of Colin's work that I did not agree with. I've gone over this before in the past. I'm sure a lot of you guys are very well aware of that. But when we look at everything related to Adam Driver, training for all these scenes, and what Kathleen Kennedy actually essentially did to the new cut of The Rise of Skywalker after the 2 phases of reshoots, you can see that there's even a different version of the movie, obviously, the JJ cut as we've been talking about, before the actual revised version by Kathleen Kennedy. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon.